Hey, this is Charlotte with photohackers.com, and I am back with the rebranding. I have been super busy lately. I am going to be moving across a few states. I'm actually moving from Florida to Texas, and I'm super excited. So, without further ado, let's jump right in it. So I'm going to make a video. I do apologize. This is probably like my 6th time recording this. First time my computer crashed. Second time had issues with the software and had to reload it. And third time it only recorded part of it, not all of it. And just further from there on. So I guess we're having some Murphy Law issues. But anyways, I'm not putting this in full screen, so for some reason it doesn't like the full screen. So I've got it at a half C's and we're doing a PowerPoint presentation. So what this video is about is it's 10 amateur branding mistakes clients make. And this is Confessions of a Graphic Designer. And so basically this is not a roast on clients. It's further from that. I'm actually trying to help clients because in my earlier years, these are the mistakes I made. And I noticed that a lot of clients make these mistakes. And the only way to, the only way to grow is to learn from your mistakes. So if people don't know that they're doing something bad, then, and nobody tells them about it, then they don't know that they're doing it. It's like when you have toilet paper stuck to your ass when you come out of the bathroom and nobody tells you that you have toilet paper stuck to your ass because they're afraid to hurt your feelings or embarrass you. It's kind of the same way with clients and also graphic designers. If you are not able to take feedback and you're not able to grow from the feedback that's given to you, then, you're going to have a problem. So let's jump right into this. We're going to define what a logo is and what branding is. Logo is a symbol or a typography element. It's some type of design that's adopted by an organization to identify its products, uniforms, or vehicles. A brand represents the sum of people's perception of a company, its customer service, reputation, advertising, and logo. The key elements that make a good brand are ones that clearly deliver the message. When someone looks at your logo, they need to be able to easily know what you do as a business. It confers your credibility. It emotionally connects you to your target audience and your products or services, and it motivates the buyer to buy, and it creates user loyalty. If a brand could speak, what would it actually say? Well, it would say, what am I? What do I do? For example, if you're a realty company, you would say, I'm a realty company. I sell houses. So ultimately, your goal is to represent who your company is, not you personally. So you need to make a distinction between yourself and your business. You should never brand your business according to your personal likes. I know you like giraffes. Everybody likes giraffes. But as a legal representation, you do want to put a giraffe as your logo. That would be unprofessional, and that would show that if you go back to the key elements, that doesn't create any type of motivation to buy your product. It has nothing to do with being a lawyer. There's no emotional connection there unless you're a toddler. And your credibility just goes right out the door. So moving on. So I want to move on to the mistake number one. The number one mistake that clients make are about their logo and their personal hobbies. So that was leading up to this. They make it about them and they don't make it about their target audience. Think of your target audience as your paycheck. So you want to do everything that your target audience wants, because that is your bread and butter. Your target audience, you can find out what they want effectively through surveys and just different strategies to do so. So when people come to me to build their brand, I see them making this mistake, and I try to talk them out of it, but sometimes it's a very difficult thing to do. Now, I'm from Florida, and let me tell you something. Everybody in Florida here has seashells and sand dollars and anything to do with the sea. They decorate their whole fucking bathroom with it. They decorate their whole fucking house. I tell you, I haven't been to one Floridian's house without some damn seashells. If I see another seashell again, I'm going to die. So I'm really glad I'm moving to Texas, because I'm so over the damn seashell thing here in Florida. Okay. The beach theme is concurrent, and this lady just wanted to take this beach theme from the bathroom and bring it into her brand. And that's not okay, because while you may live on the beach and, that's where your area is located, I mean, everybody's located on the beach. It's fucking Florida. I mean, seriously? So she sells beach houses, and therefore I provide her with a logo. And it's clear that just by looking at the logo, that it would indicate that, she sells beach houses. So it was an appropriate logo that I designed. She declined my logo because it didn't look exactly like the houses she was selling. But she would accept a competitor's logo of a sea turtle. What the fuck does a sea turtle have to do with selling houses? I don't know. You tell me. So that's leading up to mistake number 2. The client always feels like the logo should be an exact replica of the product they sell. And no, it doesn't have to be that. Your logo doesn't have to be an exact replica of what you sell. I repeat, your logo does not have to be an exact replica of what you sell. It only needs to clearly deliver the message of what you sell through correct branding and marketing. Okay? No one who's buying a beach house identifies with the sea turtle. Sea turtles are fucking endangered. When you think of a sea turtle, what do you think of? You think of endangered sea turtles. You think of rescue missions. You sell beach houses, lady. You're not a turtle rescue mission. But a beach house, whether or not it looks like the ones you sell, will make sense to potential buyers, because your target audience is looking for houses on the beach. And in order to protect, I just have to do a disclaimer here. In order to protect the identity of the client, I cannot include the design or the competitor that she chose. Moving on to mistake number 3. Not knowing what you do or what your business actually is. One of my first clients, named Serenity Spa, who, by the way, is no longer in business, so we can talk about it. She had me do some adverts for lash extensions, promotions, and some web designs as well. Now, by the name of her company, you would think that she was a spa. And the fact that she asked me to do for lash extensions, that's also something a spa or salon would do. But, oh my fucking God, the name spa is actually in the name of her logo. It's Serenity Spa. Hello? Okay? How do you get marketing company from Serenity Spa? She got really mad at me, and she said, after a while, she's like, after I completed the website, I did everything, and I did show her the mock-ups, the SketchUps I asked her about. I did everything that I was supposed to do. This lady is crazy. At the very last moment, when I had already finished the website, I had already uploaded everything. She signed off on all the proofs. She's like, she got really mad and she goes, I'm tired of everybody thinking I'm a salon. I'm not a salon. I'm a marketing company. I market salons. And nowhere along the lines when we were communicating did this ever come out. And so I think what happened is when I was doing her branding and I was asking all these questions, I kind of opened her eyes to the fact that I didn't know that she was a marketing company and nobody else did. She said people, a lot of people. She used plural in that sentence. So that means that I'm not the only one. There's several people included in this pool who have no fucking clue what this lady does. And I don't think she knew herself either. And she also she seemed to change her mind like the wind. And it's just typical of these kind of clients because, I have an identifier for these types of clients. I have identifiers for every single type of client that comes across my desk. And I call these people the experimenters. They're experimenters because they wake up one day and they decide that they want to do something whether or not they're good at it. They just decide that they want to do it because that's what they want to do and that's what they're interested in the moment. And I was actually on Twitter the other day and I saw something from Chris Do, who runs The Future, and you can visit his YouTube channel. He said that, in 2017, everybody's an expert in everything now. When did that happen? You know what I mean? And that couldn't be more, that's like so spot on. And I mean, I can use an analogy in my case. I at one point had the same thing too. I was an experimenter at one point too. I had this weird fucking dream of becoming a gamer. I asked myself, self, what do you want to do with your life? And I said, self, I want to just play video games all day and not have to work. And I was like, well, self, all these YouTubers are online. PewDiePie's doing it. Everybody's doing it. You're funny. I convinced myself that I could do it. I mean, you have this little person in your head that has convinced you that you can do these things that you simply cannot do. Never mind that I am not a good gamer. I play a variety of games. I would say that I'm an average gamer. I wouldn't say that I'm the best, but I wouldn't say that I'm the worst. I don't completely suck. But, the people who are trying to watch gamers, and another thing is I thought it would be easy for me to enter the gamosphere because I'm a woman. And, every time I tell a guy I'm a gamer, they lose their shit. And I was like, wow, there's not a lot of girl gamers online and it's not a saturated market. I mean, I did all the checks and crannies like I usually do with my design clients. And I was like, it's not saturated. People are obsessed with girl gamers. I had a whole checklist and I was like, yeah, I could do this. Yeah. And for 3 years, I uploaded over 400 videos. And I think I got 6-7 views per video. And and I tried different things, and no matter how hard I tried, and no matter how many videos I uploaded, I couldn't get more than 20 views on a video. It was sad. And I begged people to like my channel. I did everything that I could. I shared and shared. I spent a lot of time and effort trying to make that work because I really wanted to just play video games and do nothing. I mean, could you blame me for that? And so what I learned from that mistake, the mistake I learned from that was that just because you like doing something and you might be okay at doing that, doesn't necessarily mean that's your calling. Everybody has that one thing that they're really, really, really good at. Everybody has that one thing. I don't know if you've ever saw Tinkerbell in the beginning, and you should really watch this because it's definitely it's definitely something that you might be able to relate to. And Tinkerbell did not want to be a tinkerer. She hated it. She did not want to be associated. She's like, oh no, And she just wanted to do everything that she wasn't. And she tried being a water fairy and she failed at that. She tried, being a garden fairy, and she tried all these different things. And this is kind of like the same thing. When you sit there and you try to do all these things that you're not an expert at, and then that hammer glowed because she's an expert tinkerer. That's what she does, and that's what you need to do. And then I made this channel like not but 6 months ago, and believe me, I haven't even tried. Like, I would say I've only uploaded a few videos, and I wouldn't say that I put a lot of effort into it like I put in gaming. I haven't shared on social media. I haven't really done a whole lot of market or research. This kind of product, when I made this channel, I made it to kind of like showcase like a couple of things. I didn't really it wasn't really something that I was going to do, like, as far as, I don't know. But when I realized that with just a few videos and I didn't have any effort, I mean, like, wow, people are subscribing to me, and I didn't even ask them to, and people are, begging me to post more videos, and people are seeking me out. No one ever did that when I was gaming, and it was effortless. And so you want to pick something, you want to make sure that whatever you're doing is what you're good at, and you are an authoritative figure in there, because people aren't going to listen to you. People don't care about the average nobody. They want someone who knows what they're talking about, knows what they're doing, because that's ultimately why people go on YouTube. Why do people go on YouTube? They go on YouTube to learn things from experts so they can be better at things in their life. They want to know. And so that is my little story about my whole YouTube experiment. Okay, so, well, we've already covered that. I was just like looking over here to see if I missed anything. The communication with clients sometimes can be difficult. I find that you can eliminate that by putting that in a brief. And clients, you should be asking just as many questions as the designers are asking you. So this is kind of like a date. You're interviewing each other to see if it's going to work out in a relationship. Okay? Mistake number 4 and 5. Not knowing who your direct competition is or who your target audience is. One of the first things that you should do before starting an online or brick and mortar business is to look up your competition and potential target audience. How much competition do they have? How is their product better or your product better? Who are your potential target audience? Do they have a website? How much revenue do they make? How do they make that revenue? Do they advertise? Do they have a social presence? We're going to look at a case study with the car wash of Lehigh Acres, and we're going to review this particular field of business. The research here, the key here is getting an edge over on your competition, and it saves you from investing in a market that is oversaturated or dead. Okay? So before Walmart or Target come rolling up in your neighborhood, don't you think that they did market research to see if they would make money in that area, if other businesses are making money in that area, and whatnot? So if the big businesses are doing it, you should be doing it too. So let's go to the Lehigh Acres car wash. And you can do the Google search. I just put this in here. And this is in Florida, by the way. Okay. So as you can see, there are only a few car washes here. There's the Express Wash, the Classic Car Wash, and Car Wash Self-Service, and Lehigh Auto Spa. And and SCT Power Wash. Now, as you can see from a client's perspective, for this little town, this is quite a bit of competition. If there was only 3, that would be okay. But you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so still, and only 2 of these have websites. Now, if you look at this website that they have, it's completely horrendous. And look at the logo and the branding, it's shit. So, I mean, ultimately, if you wanted to come and bring a big ass, badass car wash, or if you wanted to, like, say, for instance, if you were one of these companies, let's say you were this one, the Classic Car Wash 2, you don't have a website. You don't have an online presence. You don't have a Facebook. You don't have social media. This person does. But if Classic Car Wash 2, and I don't know why they're number 2, I think these people are the same person. I'm not really sure. And that's another thing is that people can't research you. They can't read what other people say about you. So how are they going to spend money on you? Because usually you have reviews. Even the Express Car Wash, I don't think that they have reviews. Because when you look at the Google, the reviews show up on the side. So you can help if you're a designer, you can help these people by marketing them to get reviews and stuff. Or if you're this person, you could sell them. I would actually try to sell the competition because this one already has a website. And so there's not much money there. You could sell the car wash, this car wash, a website, and then you could sell them rebranding, and you can tell them, well, if you have reviews, they're going to pick you over that company because you have good reviews, and you can just get a few people to write some really awesome reviews about you, your customers or whatnot. And this is the kind of stuff that you can do for your clients. And clients, you can look and see what your competition is and if you should start that type of business in that area before you start your business. You can also see that your competition here, if you were to start a car wash, you don't have a lot of competition because neither of these people have really good websites, and this person doesn't have a brand at all. So with the right branding and the right marketing, you could really kill it in this area as a car wash. And that's just an example of, this is just our little homework here of explaining the benefits of researching the company. You could also if you're this company or this company and you want to find out how much money that people in the area spend on car washes, you could offer some kind of like free giveaway to fill out the survey. And you could have little teenagers. I don't know if you know any teenagers. Like, I have a teenage daughter, and her friends could like get together and go ahead and pass out the surveys and get them all filled out. Sometimes if you have some cute friends, like girls or something like that, they can pass them out. People like attractive people, so they're less likely to say no to someone who's attractive. So if you can get some surveys circulating, you can find out if people want that type of service too as well. And if you have an online presence, it's a lot easier because you can do a survey online. But getting back to our PowerPoint here. Okay, so the next slide is mistake 6 and 7, failing to research the name of your company and trademark it. Before coming up with a business name, it's vital to research the name you want to do business as. There's 7 key factors to this. Is the website a top-level domain name available? A top-level domain name is a .com. A .com is the first thing that people think of when you think of Nike, you think of Nike.com. You don't think of Nike.us, Nike.guru, or Nike.net. You think of Nike.com, and that's with any business. Now, the .com ranks higher than any other lower level domain, unless you have really shitty SEO. So keep that in mind. If you have the .com, it's not called a top level domain for no reason. Okay, it is the top domain. Okay, is my company name available on all social media sites I want to use? It's crucial that this is available, because when people look at, they are not only looking for you on your website, they're looking for you on social media, so they can ask you questions about your products and stuff. A lot of times I want to buy something, but I'm not sure. I have questions about it, and I want to message the company or the person. And sometimes people have different names other than what their company is, and it's very difficult to find. Is your company name short and easy to spell? Have you ever called customer service and they ask you your name and they ask to spell your name, and they can't for the life of you spell your fucking name after like the 10th time? And it is the most annoying thing in the world. And so what do you think your clients are thinking if they can't spell your company name? They're going to be like, skip on to the next. Number 4, is my company's name a highly searched keyword with low competitors? This is essential because when you put your name into Google, nothing should come up until you register it. When you register it, your name should be the only name and coming up for that Google search, because when you tell people about your business and they research you, you don't want to like not show up. That's bad. Because if you're not showing up, then you lose credibility. So you want to make sure that it's definitely very important that you have low competition for your name of your business when you're doing that keyword research. And if you don't know how to do that kind of stuff, then that's when you need to hire a professional, like someone like me or someone who knows how to do that. Not every graphic designer knows how to do SEO and some of the stuff that I know how to do. People who are more advanced and have years of experience have that expertise. And for each skill that they have, you need to pay them and compensate them for that, because each skill that they're doing for you is a different job. SEO keyword research is a totally different job. And if you had someone to do that for you, you would be paying separate for it. So, try not to give your designer a hard time if they're doing additional stuff for you on the low, and you're still haggling them about the price, and they're doing extra stuff for you. That's not cool. Is my company name unique, and does it set me apart from my competitors? You want to make sure that you have a unique enough name that people will remember you, but you don't want to make it too difficult where they can't find you, or it gets lost in translation. People don't know how to spell. Ever since computers came out, people have become even worse spellers. So just remember that. Don't try to spell things in weird and unique ways. Leave it alone. Just keep it simple. Mistake 8. A lot of people just don't understand how important color is. Color is probably one of the most important and vital parts of brand. And studies have proven that certain colors trigger psychological responses in human beings. And many professional designers, such as myself, spent quite some time in college studying color theory and the effects that it has on target audiences. Did you know that bees can't see the color red? So, I got stung by a bee on my foot the other day, and I wasn't wearing red. So, obviously, I need to start wearing red. But anyways, I digress. So, for example, if your product was a high end, let's say if you had a client who needed a high end luxury, this is a rich upscale company, your target audience, or their target audience would be between 35 to 65. And you can just guess this from experience, Once you start working with companies, you don't really have to research them as much, like do surveys and stuff, because you're going to know what type of market it is. You know what I mean? Just through experience. Okay. So normally they would be 35 to 65. They're rich. They're used to luxury quality and branding. But you never ever want to sell them anything with the wrong colors and fonts. That would be like bright neon, just like things that would attract bubblegum pink, things that would attract kids and teenagers. You don't want to have that same branding for this crowd. This crowd is of elegance. If you're going to use colors, think Tiffany's. That box at Tiffany's, I think people buy the jewelry just because of the box. And that's called good branding and good marketing. And one thing I also wanted to point out is people don't trust anything that's priced too cheap or looks cheap. And that's the same thing to go with the logo. If your logo looks like shit and your prices are really cheap, they're going to think you're a scam. And when I look at a website and I see that it's ugly, like that Lehigh website or whatever, because it's so ugly and disgusting, I literally don't have any. That site has instantly lost its credibility. Do you see how that works? When you looked at that site, did you think that was a reputable company? No. It looks like someone's kid built that site in their sleep with one eye. And oh my gosh, I didn't even want to go there with the logo. Whew, Lordy. So the appropriate colors for this case scenario would be silver, gold, black, simple and sleek. Think Gucci or Prada. You don't want to use silly fonts like Curls or Comic Sans Serif for those type of clients. Matter of fact, you don't ever want to use those fonts. Especially Papyrus. Every time I see a logo with Papyrus, and I'm not a murderous person, but sometimes I feel homicidal in that moment. No, I'm just kidding. But I digress. Papyrus, that is, oh my gosh, just don't use that font. Mistake number 9, getting design work done on Fiverr. 99 Designs or any other crowdsourcing is a huge mistake. I can't stress that enough. People on crowdsourcing sites like Fiverr or 99 Designs are non-professionals, and the logos that you get there are either copied, stolen, or stock photography. I guarantee it. Any work that you get from these sites is repurposed. You are basically paying them to steal stock, change it a little bit, recreate it in Illustrator, which literally takes 5 minutes to do, and then resell it to you. And you paid $5 for it, but you get what you pay for, and sometimes, for $5, I don't even think that I would take the effort to repurpose the logo. I would just copy it off of somewhere. There's all kinds of sites that offer free iconics, or they could just take a font that they stole or they downloaded for free, off the internet and just use that. And then congratulations, you saved yourself a whole lot of money on a logo and branding. But watch out, because as soon as you make money, or you have any type of stock or just anything that's successful, someone all of a sudden is going to say, hey, well, that's my artwork. You know what I mean? And then you're going to be up the creek without a paddle because you decided to be cheap with your branding. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is not the time to be frugal. One of the people on my channel had asked, and I do apologize, I'm so bad with names, had asked me how to price a logo. And that is a loaded question, and that is something, for another video. I'll have to do a whole video on the pricing schema thing. But a good branding package could be as low as $1,500 to $2,500, and for a mid to large size company, between $20,000 and $100,000. For larger corporations, a good brand is worth every penny. So, I mean, and $1,500 is not a lot when you take into consideration that a good designer will do the research. They have to do the research because there's no way to do a logo without the research. I've come up with, that's how I come up with my ideals. The first thing that I do is I create a mood board. I go onto Pinterest or Google, and I look for things. Let's say, for instance, you're you want a logo with lines in it, okay? And you're an entertainment company, okay? And I wouldn't say that lines are bad for an entertainment company, because whenever you watch like a movie or something like that, that line always comes on. So possibly that could be a good iconic symbol. The entertainment industry could be a range of things, but I'm just using this as an example. It doesn't have to be necessarily correct or 100% right. So what you would do is you'd go on Pinterest and you would find all the different types of lines that you could, and you just look at inspiration of what other people have done, and then you can put together a color palette, put together the ideals. And sometimes just by me flipping through Pinterest, I can come up with amazing ideals. I came up with an amazing ideal the other day, and I can't share it with you just as of yet, because I'm going to share it with you after I do the project. Because if I share it with you before I do the project, someone could watch this video, listen to it, and then steal my ideal. And then because it's just a thoughts can't be trademarked or copyrighted. Only tangible products can. So I have to wait on that. But it's really, really cool, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. So that's mistake number 9. Number 10. No online presence or plan strategy. People assume that starting a business is as easy as uploading a logo, however cheesy it may be, and then they sit back and they're like, well, if I build it, they'll come. And they assume people will buy whatever it is that you're selling. And that couldn't be further from the truth. There are so many layers of planning to a business and strategizing and developing your business to make it successful. It's not even funny. It requires a ton of work and effort on your part. For example, I went to design school, but I really don't know jack about business. I'm an expert in what I'm an expert at, and that's design. You're an expert in whatever it is that you do. And the only way to change that is the willingness to be a chameleon, or pay for a professional to bridge the gap. For example, I didn't have the financial means to hire a fancy business coach or take fancy business classes. So I spent many hours a day, plenty of nights, falling asleep to podcasts, studying marketing, business and advertising. Okay? So if you're a one-man show, a single entrepreneur, you must wear a lot of hats. You're going to wear accounting hat, business hat, advertising hat, email marketing hat, web design hat. Man, I could go on forever how many freaking hats you'll have to wear. as a single entrepreneur. It ain't easy being cheesy. So if you don't have time or the desire to wear all those hats, then what you need to do is you need to budget and make a business plan, and you need to source these things out. You need to have a budget for them. So when you ask a designer how much is a logo, that's not the question that you need to be asking. What you need to be asking yourself, so you have to say, self, how much did I budget for a logo in my business plan? Okay? And you have to decide what you can afford to spend on your marketing and branding. And you know that it's important, and you need to find the right person to do it. You can't just pick any Joe off the street. Cheaper isn't necessarily better, and the most expensive isn't necessarily the better. You need to evaluate whoever you hire. Just like you're interviewing somebody for a job, you're interviewing them, the best person for the position. Try to do as many interviews as possible and then come up with a decision, Don't make rash, by the seat of your moment pants. And whatever you do, don't hire family, because you're going to have the most fucked up logo or fucked up website, and you're going to do it only because you're comfortable and you know that person and you want to do them a favor. Don't mix your professional life with your family life. Don't do it. Okay? And this is the last thing I wanted to touch on. People think it's not important to have an online presence, but it is. You don't necessarily have to have a website, but you have to have something. Having a website or a sales funnel or some way to interact or engage with your potential clients is the most crucial part of your plan strategy. There's no point of even having a business or a brand if you don't plan on using it to engage. How are you going to know what your customers want? How are you going to know what they like? How are they going to communicate with you? How are they going to know you're credible if you don't have any way to prove that? So having a if you don't have a website, at least start with a social media presence. Be online. I'm online all the time, and people have known me through years and followed me through years, and I've built a reputation. And I've become quite the sensation online. You can become a household name, just by engaging and interacting with people. You can become really popular. And it's so funny because I wear my sunglasses when I go out about town because I've become so popular in social media that I'm afraid that somebody will see me and stalk me. Because if you've ever seen somebody that on social media that you really don't know, they're just kind of like, because I would say the majority of the people on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, you don't really know those people. Those are just your friends that you follow and stuff. I would say probably maybe out of all the friends that people have, if you have like 5,000 friends on Facebook, you probably only know 10 of those people. I'm not kidding you. And the thing is like, I've seen people in the street and they've actually freaked out, and it was kind of overwhelming. It felt like a celebrity, and it gets overwhelming. And I actually just recently started my whole Facebook page over because I had so many people on there and so many people were messaging me, and it wasn't about my designs. And so I decided to start over and just do a different Facebook page, but I wasn't going to let those people pick me. I'm going to pick the people I want as my friends. And so if you go to Facebook and you search for, in like parentheses, I need a graphic designer, or I need a logo designer, or I need branding, or I need help branding. All the people who are looking for that is going to pop up, and those are the friends that you need to add. Same thing if you're a car wash business. Oh, I need my car washed. I need a detail on my car. If you search that in Facebook, everybody who's looking for someone to wash their car, and believe me, I see them all the time in my newsfeed. Oh, who washes cars? And it's gotten to the point where people ask Facebook for what business they should go to, and people would recommend. I see it all the time, and it's very important to have a social media presence. I just saw, I was like, well, which cell phone provider should I go with? Which one is the best? And they will ask it, and they will get the feedback, and whoever gives the feedback, they choose that. And I had one recently who asked me, they didn't ask me personally, but they were asking on Facebook, Xbox or PS4, because he was going to decide whether or not he was going to buy an Xbox and PS4. And I gave him my honest review. I said, I have both. I have the Xbox and the PS4. And I explained to him, I said, I have very happy with PS4, but there's some things that I didn't like. And some of the things I didn't like their new design. And there's always sometimes problems with the CD not wanting to stay popped in. It does some kind of like weird thing, and I don't like the way the buttons are placed. Other than that, the PS4 is pretty good. It's pretty good. And one of the things I was really disappointed about, and I've never had an Xbox before, so this is all new to me. You have to manually set up your controller. The battery on the back, you have to put a battery in the controller. I'm like, hello, this is 2017. Why are we putting a battery in the back of the controller? Xbox, what the fuck? And so I was really mad about that. I didn't like that. And you can't share on social media like you do with the PS4. You can just double tap the record button and you can upload and you can do share play and stuff like that with PS4. You can't do that with Xbox. You have to do a lot of work. You have to go to your PC, do the screen share with Windows 10 if you have Windows 10, and it's a lot of work. And people want to share what they're doing on the gaming. They want to share that they got trophies. They want to be able to share that. And I also explained to him that I have PS4 and I have so many friends. It's not even funny. Everybody has it, and I'm able to connect with my Facebook, and everybody who's on my Facebook friends list, it tells me whether or not they have the PS4. But the Xbox, it fails to connect. It has a lot of problems, and I've only played it 3 times, and I've had it since Christmas, and I don't enjoy it. It was a regret. I summed up my review with a regrettable purchase. And, I don't understand why Xbox One is not taking these different things that people don't like, the negative things, reviewing these things and fixing them. They failed to do this several times. Look at Windows 10. Everybody has said that they want Windows 7 back. Why can't you just make a fucking browser like Windows 7 with all your security updates? And the problem is that they don't listen to their customers. Some companies get so big and so oversaturated that they forget what it was like to be smaller. And Google's successful because they implement those strategies. There's certain companies, the reason why they're successful, Microsoft is having all these problems. And it's one of the reasons why I might go to Apple, even though I don't really like Apple either. But Windows it's been shit. Since Windows 7, it's been shit. My Microsoft 8 was a fail, 8.1, even worse, and 10. I mean, come the fuck on. The reason why I haven't been able to upload a video, I'll tell you the truth. Windows 10 had some kind of like weird, strange update, and it crashed like literally like almost everybody's computer. You can Google and read about it online, and it fucked up my computer, and I didn't lose my data, but I had to reinstall all my programs and all my fonts, and I only backed up half my fonts. And so I've literally been for the last 2 weeks trying to like re-upload everything. And that's like the honest truth. Windows 10 has ruined my fucking life. And yeah, so I do apologize for that. I am in the process of moving between Florida and Texas. I'm going to be moving by the end of the month. And so I'm going to try to at least upload a couple more videos this week. It's only Tuesday, so we have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I'll have a couple of videos. Don't you worry. And I don't think I'm going to be able to upload videos for the last week. I'm not sure. I'm going to try to. But if you like this video and it was useful, please subscribe, and hit the like button. And please, if you need any type of help or you want to recommend a video, please leave a comment. I'll be more than happy to make one. Thanks so much, guys, for watching. I love you guys. Bye.